Let's roll. This is Countercharge, your podcast for ranks, flanks, and kings of war. Join your hosts as they delve into the world of Panithor and bring you worldwide coverage of all things Kings of War.
Welcome to Countercharge. I'm Ralph Enough. Tonight we're sharing the audio version of the live stream we did on the Xirkaali Army with its creator, Kyle Prezelinski from Mantic Games. So I would recommend watching the stream on YouTube because you'll see images, but if you're just stuck in a car and this is all you got, it's not a bad listen. So sit back and enjoy.
Well, hello, Mr. Crozier.
Hello, Robert. And that explosion at the end, I think, was quite was quite for the moment, as my head exploded this morning when I woke up and got to see what we had on offer in all its glory.
And I should apologize. This week we had 3 small little episodes, and some have realized that they're sort of interconnected. But I will, as Matt knows, I am a stickler for actually following embargo dates and, you know, working to the marketing plan that that was given to us. So we had to cut some stuff up, and what you heard today was an interview from Sunday morning with Ronnie that we did started to touch on some of the new army. What's your pronunciation? I know how they pronounce it. What's your pronunciation? Because I know you're like real famous with like grenadiers.
So how are you following the Mantic instructions? Is that what you mean, Rob? Well, I here he is. He can comment on YouTube, but he can't join us from Disneyland.
No, I don't know. Just because he's in Disneyland, I mean, really.
I would have, based on the writing, I would have said Xirkaali.
That's Xirkaali, yeah.
Yeah. On the spelling, I should have said.
I should, a little inside baseball here, you know. I saw stuff a long time ago. A long time ago, right? And it was all concept art, and I was like, this is pretty cool. It's a little cartoonish for me, but I could see it. And they obviously spent a lot of time working on it. And I didn't literally, we're going to look at the video in a minute. It's only a minute long. That's the first time I saw actual models. And my jaw hit I don't know about you, Matt, but my jaw was like clunk. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, let me get this straight. We have Eastern style gnolls. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, they just happen to be the living descendants of enslaved guardians, right? Yeah, awesome. You know, these are some of the castaway slaves from Avidia. I'm like, this
might have been some of the best tie-in fluff that they've done yet. As a whole, to be honest, as we started off, this is the best release they've done as a whole.
Yeah, I believe Alexi has it. Xirkaali.
Yeah. I could just really annoy people, and we could just go with something else, right? Xirkaali.
Well, to be fair, when I saw it spelled on the thing, it wasn't until the video came up. The Xirkaali, which, by the way, we'll look at the video in a minute together. I'm sure I've asked everybody to watch it. I hope you have, because I saw it a week ago, and you know, when you see it with a big group of people, it didn't really sink in. But this morning, I was super excited to have a coffee, and I'm like sitting down. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And it was, you know, because it went by the first time so fast. But this time I could stop it and go, yes, those were plastic placoderms. And they do like Ector. And they are awesome. And they have multiple weapons. At first I said, oh, those salamanders? And then I'm like, no, those are placoderms. Oh,
man, how good are the alternate weapons on the placoderms?
Oh, the heavy, like, almost Aztec-style sword. Oh. Yeah. Like a Jaguar warrior.
There's some tasty biscuits right there.
Oh. Yeah, you know, this is the thing that I really appreciate. They've been working on this for a couple of years. They set this in motion 2 years ago. I would even argue even earlier than that, because if you remember, Matt, back in like early second edition, when they were teasing, like when the first like Uncharted Empires came out, and they were teasing about, oh, this is, you know, the Fishman army. They were sort of alluding to, like, they have been talking about an Eastern faction, maybe tongue in cheek first, but in some earnest for a while. So I am totally hooked that this has come full circle. And that, yeah, for sure. Well, that's a great point, right? I'm going to guess here that in Matt Gilbert's head, which is just as crazy, I asked Ronnie, is he the Alan Merritt of Mantic? He didn't, he wouldn't respond. He didn't find it. By the way, I will say, for those that are on and listening to this, stay tuned. We have a story. I'll just say it like this. Ronnie and Blake used to work with each other in GW, and they have a story where they got kicked out of the Tower of London. I'll just leave it at that for pulling shenanigans. So we got some more Michigan GT content that's not necessarily related to fourth. It's just, fun, interesting stories. But he does bring up that Helpy's Rift, right? The magic has flowed out, and it turns out someone was paying attention and is a little taken aback by what has come out of those into the world. And, they are, I really, and maybe you have I'm going to ask you, do you have an idea of how they're going to execute an anti-magical flavor to the army list? Like, how is that going to work on the table? You can't cast spells within like 6 inches of that? I don't know. I'm asking.
Well, you'd imagine it's not spell ward, because you'd imagine they wouldn't give something that the halflings already have, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not sure. And are they really about the Rift, or are they going for Trident Realms and the halflings?
So I will say, I don't know what conversations I've had, and I don't know when I had them or who I had them with, because I'm old. But I do know that they are specifically looking, and thanks to Matt's going to handle the comments tonight, I think. They are looking to stop the magic, right? They are literally going, and in some of the video that we're going to see, they made it clear that some of that's Basilean cities are getting destroyed. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. We have a special guest.
We didn't announce it. We didn't announce it. We didn't know if it was happening. We didn't want people to go, you get preferential treatment because you're
one of
the
most handsome people in the gaming world, who has had a big day today. I messaged him, and
he probably can because he's smiling.
He can. I can see him smiling. I messaged him earlier today and said, "You've done me dirty, Kyle, because now I've just got a home surrounded by used tissues in my house. After looking at all these pictures, and here he is, the creative director of our new army in Kings of War, Mr. Kyle Prezelinski."
I almost want to hug you because knowing kind of what was coming and then what actually came was I was like, oh my good Lord, right? And no offense to Mantic, but the first thing I thought was, is this Warcrow? Is this Corvus Belli? I was like, these sculpts are like, woo, they're out of control.
Well, that's good. That's really good to see.
Yeah. Well, guys, maybe we could go ahead and watch the video. And then we'll maybe, Matt, I've talked to Kyle and Ronnie a lot about this stuff, but this is your opportunity to maybe pick their brain. So
why don't you hear the play on that old video there? Let's get that done. Don't tell me this is going to be soundless, is it? There is no sound transmitting. So we're just seeing pictures. Oh, well. Yeah. Yep. That's all right. We can talk over the top. Kyle, first question, I guess. Did you know that Games Workshop invented Asia?
No.
No, neither did I. It's almost, that's but I learned something new every day. But on a serious note, mate, this is I'm feeling it as a real triumph for Mantic. How did this enter your head? This idea of Eastern Gnolls.
Well, I mean, honestly, it started off from Matt, who we've said the whole time that this has been something that's in the works for a really long time. So it's part of the Panther lore, and Matt's got an encyclopedia in his head around everything that's going on in the background, so much so that a level that I don't understand, Ronnie doesn't understand, he's got it all there. And the gnolls and dog people side of it were absolutely what he intended, and they were going to be from the east, but how all that looked is where things sort of started to evolve. When they first pitched it, they wanted to do kind of mutated things, and I was like, guys, we've done Night Stalkers, we've done Abyss, we've done a lot of ugly, mean, mutated things. Can we make some more aesthetically pleasing looking dogs and that kind of thing? And I said dogs, and like it was like dogs, like that image of the poker game. You ever seen that? Like it's a painting group of dogs that are playing poker. That kind of came into my head, and it was
on the velvet piece
yeah.
of that's awesome.
I was like, everybody loves dogs. And then we sat there in the meeting room. This was when I was in the UK a couple of years ago now, and looked up, does anything like this exist out there? You know, we're always looking for ways to make something that's unique. And as we talked and had those sessions, there was a lot of things that were going through my head, and I loved the idea of just actual dogs. I wanted them to be, think of like police dogs, you know, the way that they are super stout, but yet incredibly, they can switch to aggressive, to wagging their tongue and happy in a heartbeat, depending on what's going on. And so that thought and that notion of how they should behave and think was what drove me quite a bit to how we would make these guys look. And then, you know, as soon as we went into Asian themes, it's like, okay, let's get some monks, let's get a kung fu gorilla, let's get some cool dragons, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. It flowed very naturally. It felt like the things that are a part of the army, as Jeremy would say, just made sense.
Let's get one thing out of the. Let's just cut this off at the bud here. This army has been in development for multiple years.
Yeah,
like this is not Cathay, guys. Like I know there's some similarity, but Parabellum also has an Eastern army. Like sometimes things have to be parallel.
Yeah, show me the terracotta, show me giant, show me, you know, balloons. It's just not there.
I think I'd said to you, Rob,
it's completely different. You know?
I didn't even know anything about Cathay. Like I had no idea.
Well, when we were talking about it, you were just like, check out this cool dog army, and I'm like, my eyes went. Woo. I was like, oh my gosh, you know.
And I'd be interested in on the fluff side, Kyle. The humans. It's interesting to see humans still part of this faction. Is that a reversal of humans enslaved, or are we seeing like a working together kind of?
It's a working together thing, but we knew, you know, the way that dogs are so loyal to their human owners. We said, wouldn't it be cool if these guys were so noble and honorable that the humans just willingly, it's like voluntary indentured servitude. So you'll notice that the models, they all have collars on, all the humans.
Yeah. Awesome.
You know, I will say, those that haven't listened to today's podcast, Ronnie did make a comment that sometimes a player looks like their army. Kind of like a person looks like their dog, you know? So I don't know what that says. If Matt, you're going to start playing this army, I don't know.
I'll need to get a dog first.
We do have some questions, and we have the man that can probably answer it. Oops. Oh, sorry, Matt.
It was just the so I haven't taken note of the names, to be honest, because I've just been looking at the pretty pictures. So I'm not even going to have a crack at saying that.
Hemesian.
The Hemesian. Yep. Mm-hmm. And so what are they within the army?
Those are the dogs. So
right. Okay. So
the Yan are the humans. The Hemesian are the dogs. Xirkaali Empire is everything.
Yeah.
And I think it was. Go ahead.
Well, it was funny. Rob and I were talking about off air previously that despite kind of knowing this idea of that the living version of the enslaved guardians, we still hadn't conceptualized that they would be the larger size, the larger infantry size models.
The mainline infantry are heavy infantry sized. They are a little bit bigger than what, you know, like an orc would be, but not by much. They're not quite ogre sized. And the berserkers and the planestalkers, so the rangers, those are on large infantry bases. They are a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we did have a question in terms of the inspiration for the Asian theme. Was it Mongolian that you were looking for, or was there a specific, or really just a fantastical race, and you just took your Eastern inspiration from wherever you found it?
Yeah, it was really mostly that. There was some Mongolian inspiration, especially with the weaponry. That was something that we looked at. We thought about for the Lion Snarl Cavalry, the mounted unit. They have a bow option as well. So there's a unit that has a bow option, and we thought, like the Mongols on horses and doing that kind of thing would be cool. They were all thought the Asian theme was a thing. With the dragon, I actually wanted Falkor. I wanted to straight up rip Neverending Story and make a dog head dragon, but that was a little too on the nose for.
You probably haven't even heard our episode. We actually got Falkor vibes from it anyway. We said we got some Falkor vibes from it, so you haven't completely missed out there.
It's still there, yeah.
And how do you feel today, mate? So this is I think your first big creative release, basically.
I was really nervous. I worked a bit on the Twilight Kin, but not quite the level of this one, and it's been going on for such a long time that different road bumps that you'd go through in the process. I remember Ronnie saying to me, like, I don't care. It's on you. Whether it's good or bad, it's on you. It has to make it happen. If you don't think it's good enough, it has to be good enough if you are going to be proud of it. And I was just like, okay, got it. I'm going to give it my best shot. So I was definitely nervous today. Just heading into it to see what it would be. We knew that some of those things would pop up, like the associations to Asian culture and dogs. There were things that we had on the radar that we knew could possibly be issues or pushback. And I just had a lot of confidence in the theme and the way that everything kind of fit together and looked well. And I was like, that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to make any insults. It was a conscious thing throughout the whole process. So I said, you know what, let's push, let's do it.
Yeah, I can understand some of that. And I think in the end, the Eastern theme in fantasy wargaming is an existing trope anyway. I can see some concerns over other things, but I think it's been pretty obvious. And to be honest, I believe that so far, of course, you're always going to get some whingers and whiners, but I feel like I've seen the most consistently positive feedback about an army that Mantic's ever had on release.
Like 90% positive, right?
Yeah.
There's some people that go, look, I appreciate what they've done. It's not for me. And that's
Which
fair
is
enough.
Totally fine. Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I keep Matt, I'm sorry.
No. You're all good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And like Rob said, I think if there's anything that trends towards the negative, it's actually more towards the neutral. I don't vibe dogs, but this is cool.
Yeah. And that's great. Yeah. That's a kind of response that, even if it's not for you, but you still think it looks good and it makes sense and it's got a good theme, then that's hitting the mark. There's nothing bad about that kind of comment.
Yeah.
Well, if it's too successful though, Kyle, you might be too busy for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know.
I have seen a few comments about cats, right? So we
got
one from Troy. There was a couple on, I think, Fanatics.
I think Adrian said cats as well.
Any thoughts of a cat army at some point?
Cats, I think, would have made a lot of sense. Very early stages. If we were doing the dogs, I actually wanted them to be a Eastern European theme. So think like Van Helsing, because they're witch hunters, having that kind of vibe to them. That's where I originally wanted it. But Matt had the lore mapped out way before any kind of creative direction could go to it. When it came to, doing an Eastern theme and having the dogs, cats, I think would have been more real world culturally. It makes sense, but I don't know. I think we just wanted to be different.
But you don't have undead giant cat people, right? You have undead giant dogs or wolves or gnolls, whatever that, whatever those, it's certainly a doggish head.
They were always Eastern. They were always dogs, like in the lore. And the real proof in the pudding of that is the Empire of Dust and the Enslaved Guardians. Like that's exactly where these came from.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, one of the more interesting parallels, I think, is, I mean, and they weren't anywhere near as Eastern vibed, was the old Confrontation minis with the werewolves. And it'll be interesting. And they were a universally loved model range. You know, it will be interesting if it draws, you know, people that loved that kind of style in to purchase the army. Because, I mean, I think they're different, but they have that kind of a little bit of flavor of that. Which I think is awesome. So Adrian says on Cat Army would be an army of assholes.
A special rule where they can push you off the edge of the board.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you saw this, Kyle, but, you know, a few guys in groups in the States talking about going full Mantic. So,
yeah, that's great.
Really and
then
we also saw, Rob, you know, the release of the new depth horror models, although they kind of had a sculpt for that already, and their placoderms. They're so nice. Yeah.
Well, do we want to maybe look at some of the pictures that Mantic put out today?
Let's have a look.
Let's take a look. So let's start with the Xirkaali, right? So, I mean, guys, I don't know who's doing your photography, your painting. Literally, like, this is the best stuff you guys have put out. And
Old Mate at the front, at first look, might actually be my favorite model in the range.
Oh, that old, worn out, like.
Yeah, with the pink and he's got the little beard.
And the teal. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
I like this dude in the back carrying, it looks like a coffin on his
coffin.
back.
Yeah. It's a witch cage.
A witch cage. Oh,
yeah.
They capture mages. Anti-magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see? This is why we have you on, because you can give us the little juicy details that we don't have the context for.
He's a cool unit in the game, what he can do.
Yeah. We also know, Kyle, that, you know, information gleaned from Ronnie is not always accurate.
Sure.
There was mention on one of
the year.
He had mentioned previously about maybe some alternate heads coming to the vault.
Yes.
Are you able to say whether that's a thing or not?
It is. I have not seen them yet, but the idea was that people had all kinds of breeds of dogs that they loved, and we didn't want to railroad them into one kind of very generic design. So we were going to have a variety of different heads that you could get in the vault to swap out and represent different dog breeds.
And to me, that just makes this army even cooler, right? How easy to just change up the vibe of an army by just a simple head swap. Yeah.
One of the early concepting processes is Christian Byrne did the concepts for it, and he sends you a bunch of things that you go through and you prove which ones look good, you know, feedback, push, go more this direction, that kind of thing, and getting the heads that we wanted was a very involved process, and I just kept having that sort of police dog vibe in my head, either, you know, in the Doberman family or. But you still don't want to do just a straight up real world dog. Like, it has to be this unique fantasy thing. So, lots of options there. But we loved the cat heads. Yes. I mean, you could very realistically, the bodies would swap just fine. It's totally possible. I can always pass it on.
Yeah. Kind of, it wouldn't be quite in theme though, would it? So, right from where they escape from, but it would be an
literally
interesting
smell magic, like they hunt it down. They're the perfect race to go and get magic, and what it's all about is that the Halpi's Rift was, you know, that whole event caused other places in the world and other powers that we've not really met yet to notice it, and that's why the whole invasion is happening. And some of the stories in the book, like I will be first to admit that I've read through some of the lore and half fallen asleep from it, because it's very Silmarillion-ish. You know, it's that kind of style as opposed to characters and really involved things. And the lore that C.L. Warner came up with for a lot of this was brilliant. Matt did a lot of work on it, and they consulted with me throughout the whole process, which was fantastic. There is a short story. So many short stories, but the short stories are great because it doesn't take a whole lot to read. Understanding how many are invading is incredible. Like, it is not just, oh, here's a little force in the corner of the map that's coming in. This is a full scale invasion of Panithor, and the first signs were goblins and ratkin fleeing from certain areas, and some of the dwarven scouts ran into them, and a group of, I think it was sharpshooters, got captured. And the captain is literally, they're in cages, they're listening to him, they have these barks and yips, and they're trying to understand their language, and they can't quite do it. And the captain is watching because he's realized that the Xirkaali, the Messians, want to hunt the dwarves for sport. They're just kind of they're bored as they're going through. And so they're letting the dwarves out of a cage one at a time. And they have all their gear and equipment and kind of in a pile. And they're like, take what you want, have a head start. Good luck. And they let the dwarves go. And the captain realizes that the hunters are coming back with a dwarf head in their hands. And it's quick and brutal. And this captain has to kind of come up with a plan on how he's going to deal with this. And he says, you know what, I'm not going to load up a bunch of my equipment. I don't want to weigh myself down. I'm going to get as much of a head start as I can get. Dwarves are a little bit slower, obviously. He takes a crossbow and some bolts, and like, that's it. And he runs into the woods. He's got a very, small head start, and he builds a trap with the crossbow bolts, like a spike pit. He basically lays them down and tries to do it. And the Messian catches up to him and sees this pit and immediately sniffs it out, like knows immediately that it's a trap and is going to disarm it. And then the dwarf jumps out right at the last second and just barely nicks him. But because he drew blood first, he's like, you're free to go. They're incredibly honorable. Like in some of the short stories that, Matt put out, you can see some of the lore and the honor behind them there. They've gone and visited the elves a whole bunch. They're basically like, submit to us right now and we let everyone live, or we're coming and killing everyone. You're too controlling in magic. You can't stay in the fight with magic in Panithor, and we won't allow it. And because of the size of this invasion force, this isn't just like a simple request. It's kind of like that Persian, coming in 300, and the elf, they'll give everyone 3 chances to submit. And if they, on the 3rd chance, they say no, then there's no holding back. And that's kind of where we are, with what's happening with the whole invasion. There are 5 claws of attack. So 5 points on Panithor that they're attacking, each led by a different matriarch that is one of the models in the range that you can see that are doing the invasion. And I mean, it's a scale that we haven't really seen, and it's what kicks off the entire 4th edition timeline. And it's genuinely interesting stuff.
Yeah, no, I love that. The whole Panithor is going to feel like it's raining dogs and dogs.
When's the last we had this, though? Like, this is like one of the best, most fleshed out armies, both aesthetically, model range. Hey, here's a question, and that you probably know the answer. We'll look at some more pictures, but everything's available? All the units are covered by models?
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, you are like GW now.
Yeah. I think the most interesting one, though, that I'd love to see, hopefully in the future, is Rob. Is it the next picture up?
Let me see.
I'm not sure what order it's going to go in the.
I don't either.
Out of the files.
Let me just do this real quick.
The way it would have ordered.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what the heck's going on with this thing.
Come on, old man. Let's get
going.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay. Yeah,
Monkey magic.
It just came up. That's what came. I mean,
so you want to fight monkey?
I have to admit to Kyle, when he told me about this, I didn't see any sketches, but when he sort of talked about it, I imagine like Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
But like, this is so much better. It's just enough of a comical nod, but it still feels cool, if that makes sense. It's not to the extreme. It's not Kung Fu Panda.
I wanted extreme, to be perfectly honest with you. I was pushing hard for extreme. I wanted a straight up Bruce Lee expression on this guy's face. Like, whoa!
It does kind of look like it, though. He definitely looks like he's going to kill somebody with his bare hands.
Oh, no, that's how he fights. He has no weapons. He will beat you to death with his fists.
That's so awesome.
So obviously this race of whatever he is in the army is much rarer, though. Like they're quite singular. And what I really like about this model too, Rob, is that there's plenty of detail, but it's kind of that biggish detail that's not going to make it a really difficult paint. I really like models like that, not being an intricate painter myself, that you'll get so much character from quite a simple paint job. It'll take on the characteristics of your speed paints or whatever quite well, I think.
That was really important to me for the entire range. I don't know that we've always had painters and modelers in mind when doing the different designs. And I was insisting that like these need to be fun to paint. So that means, larger surface areas that accept the paint, the details that accept things like speed paints. Cause I mean, when it's a fantasy army that's mass battle stuff, like you have to relent that people are going to use that stuff and get mileage out of it because they have to paint so many models. So it was 100% intended to be that way.
Awesome. What do we got up next, Rob?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's take a look.
So these seem to be the heavy infantry backbone, Kyle. And so you mentioned they're not as big as the ogres, which is because the thing that stood out to me was there being 8 on a base in quite a few of the pictures. So they're obviously on infantry style bases, but just with less of them.
Yeah, this is a heavy infantry regiment with 8 models.
That's
It's funny. So just to make
this
sure we understand,
was also a direction that they were given.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Because I remember you talking about this specific thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Kyle, to be fair, Kyle, it's not dinosaurs, so you're not going to paint it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What's Kyle talking about?
In terms of this base, though, so this is heavy infantry sized.
Yeah.
So 125 by 100. Okay. All right. That's cool, right? I think that's cool.
We don't use 5x4. You know what I mean? Like that's not. It's Kings. It's a multi-base.
Love it. I love it. I don't know what you could tell us, but we were maybe before you came on just talking about like the whole anti-magic thing. How any tips on how this army is going to play? Is it going to? I'm sorry, Matt.
That was me.
Is it going to be very melee heavy? Is it going to be? I don't know. What are we looking at here? I'm curious.
Yeah, there is a decent amount of melee. So the different kits have different builds. So like the Yan, the humans, they've got a melee build, and then they've also got what are they called? Chakrams, where they're like throwing weapons for a nice short-ranged, effective shooting unit. You get the Planestalkers and the Berserkers, who it's a single kit that you can build either as the Hunters, the Rangers, or the Berserkers. So there's a melee option, there's a ranged option. And the way that those all go together are nice. The Lion Snarl Cavalry, same way. It's a melee and a ranged option, bows or the heavy spears. So you've got lots of options to do both. I know people are concerned about the ranged capabilities in Kings of War 4th, but I promise you, ranged is still very effective. They can do both. The anti-magic is really interesting. It kind of boils down to that witch cage unit and some witch hunters and how they interact. Obviously, when you have an army that is adverse to magic, they probably don't take magic themselves, and they don't exactly get benefits in the same way from magical artifacts. So they've got a bit more commands than other armies because they are structured to get benefits that way. Now, if you look at the game in a very black and white way, commands function very similar to magic. So it's kind of built in that way. Like there's one command that effectively gives them Bane Chant. It's a crushing strength 1, but it's command order, not magic.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that makes sense within the simplicity of how the new rules are structured. So that's awesome. Do you want to give us the next picture, Rob? Yeah, these are nice. I mean, obviously there's, the types of war machines and Eastern themes aren't ridiculously different at times, are they? This is just you kind of probably.
I didn't get involved in these at all, to be perfectly honest with you. So I don't know. I know that Ronnie wanted a balloon of some sort. He wanted like a kite weapon thing, and we were trying to explain to him how difficult that would be to sculpt and be stable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I'm getting a Planet of the Apes vibe here, though, because these humans have the collars, right? So it's sort of like apes. Now, question: what we just looked at, those are hard plastic. Is this resin? Is this 3D printable?
I think these are resin. Yes, there's some Unicool as well. Unicool is the material that the new Champions heroes are made out of, which is a really, really nice resin.
No, it's resin, but it's much more resistant to breaking.
Yeah,
which I like.
Yeah, It's and super crisp. Like the detail on those is awesome.
And this guy,
actually, this is cool. Actually,
this steals the whole show for me.
Yeah. Man, I like this. So, like,
this is a character.
Dogs with pet dogs.
Yeah.
Alexi has a store in Australia, so has gone to a big effort to get all the pre-orders online overnight. So these
are like dragon dogs, basically. You can see the scales on them.
Yep. So in the canon, are they more akin to like also the cavalries? Like, I know they're not the same, but
these aren't. A human could ride this. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, why didn't we put some Yan on these? That would have been cool. But the foo dogs or the lion snarl, that sort of style, that was based on like the temple statues outside of a guardian temple lions. And these are more fantasy, ethereal almost. I wanted them in that blue specifically because they had that sort of dragon nature built into it. So interesting stuff. This was supposed to go right along with the dragon, like the same kind of family sort of relationship. Yeah,
Kyle, we did have a question from Alexi. In terms of what we just looked at, the Archer version, which is coming up, should we consider these to be like Enslaved Guardians in terms of their potency?
They are more of a ranger unit and kind of a scouting unit than they are the Enslaved Guardian.
Maybe more like a
turret. Yeah. I mean, your Glade Stalker-ish, kind of thing in that sort of range.
And the design gives that kind of vibe, doesn't it? With the heavy cloaks and
they can fight just as well as they can shoot, that kind of thing.
And these guys, man, I had to say, like, this is like over the top. Like, you gave me the chocolate cake, it had the excellent frosting, had some coconut on it, and now it's just like, this is just going to make me sick because this is too much. It's too much. it's so delicious, right?
I really like the interpretation of the temple, lions. They've just got that little bit more muscular, little bit more angular head. With the little bit of armor on the front.
The hair goes with very traditional artwork too.
Yeah,
like the way the mane is.
Yeah,
I
really like them.
Is this isn't large cavalry? Is this regular?
It is
cavalry?
Large cavalry, but this is
so we're talking 150 by 50.
Correct. 150 by 100 on this base.
Oh, for a horde, right?
This is a horde. The new
that is a horde. Yes. Okay, all right.
So instead of having awful overhang, there's no troop option, so it's just this base with those three models.
Yeah. That's. I'm assuming these are resin as well.
I believe so. I could actually take a look and find out.
Yeah. No, they're plastic. I had a look earlier today. They were listed as plastic on the website.
I believe you because they yelled at me how much plastic I used.
I'm pretty sure I clicked on the individual unit, but
I think they are resin.
Oh, are they? Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we do want to know. We had someone ask, does this dragon only have 3 legs?
No, it does have 4
other legs behind the thing. Okay.
Yeah. Someone thought you got inspiration from me, Kyle. So with only 3 legs. So yeah.
This though. This is the highlight for me though, because is that 100 millimeter or is that a 70? What size base is that? 75. Okay, that is I don't know why I would say 100. That doesn't make any sense. Obviously, 75 or a 50. This is just super cool, man. And you're giving them just enough like natural elements. You could paint like cherry blossoms if you wanted. You could. There's just limitless stuff here.
Yeah, I think that kind of tree would actually allow for additions, wouldn't it, Rob? You could print some different little blossoms and stick them on if you wanted, and like it would still work based on your color scheme. I think this is really good in terms of something that you could expand out. Like you could put something coming out of that little knot right near its foot. I think at first look, I was like, oh, that's interesting to have it a bit more terrain piecey because that kind of can sometimes lend to not individualizing as much, but I think you've just got you just do it in a different way.
There's no wings.
But this is a dragon, right? Like
it
this
is a dragon.
Their version of the dragon.
You were
the
correct,
fact there's no mount.
Carl, I was wrong.
Cool.
The lion skull resin.
Yeah. The resin. But this guy is the centerpiece for the army, I think, for me.
Sure, that's something to me. I literally feel like I could just have that on my desk next to me, and it would look great.
And Kyle brings up something. Do we know let's give a shout out. Who did all these paint jobs? They did a fantastic job.
Studio Giraldez did the heroes, so like the dragon, the whole hero pack, and then I can't think of the guy's name. I know who he is, and I can't.
It's not the guy that painted the champion stuff.
The nerd.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about because they posted some pictures on Fanatic.
Not Glenn Waring.
No.
Glenn did do some stuff, I think.
I think he might have done some champion stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're using a range, which is good. You know, it's nice to get a bit of a range.
Look at this guy. These guys are badass, dude. That guy on the top with all the armor and like a metal muzzle. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on.
That's the basically the guy in charge of the artillery, and dogs are terrified of loud noises and booms. So if you can zoom in enough, you'll see that his ears are completely like.
Oh my gosh, they're plugged. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Earplugs. That is awesome.
That's insane.
There need to be pretty good earplugs to block a dog's ears.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of this guy too. I mean, he just looks like a conqueror.
Yeah.
He shows up, you better run.
That's one of the matriarchs.
Oh, so it's a she. Which is even better. Yeah.
This is good, but probably what they don't want is they don't want workers' compensation claims for tinnitus as well. So, like, it's probably not just about the ear; they're just blocking up the ears. So, yeah.
And Mo did mention it's called Nerd Cave. That's what we were looking for.
Nerd Cave, yeah.
The person, the group that painted most or some of these. Now we're looking here. Is that on a 50 and this on a 40? These characters. Okay. Is that? Should we expect individuals that used to be on 25 by 50 going to 50s? Guys that were on 25
by 50, so like a cavalry hero.
Cavalry base going to 50?
That goes to 50.
And then the 20s or the 25s go to 40s?
Correct.
And anything that was already on a 40 stays on a 40?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's only the individuals that are basically, or what used to be individuals.
Right.
Is the individual rule still a thing?
It is.
Okay.
That was something that stuck out to me in the release, Rob, was in terms of the completeness of this release, like to even have those conversion bases on the web store, I think was just like, it's obviously not a big deal, but it's just a cool little touch around that completeness.
Yeah, some people care about it.
Way. Mm-hmm. So these are really cool. And then we get to, these are the Yan, you said, I think. So they are just
these are crisp
looking warrior monks, right?
Yes. This is a separate studio, actually. So instead of Archon doing them, there's another studio that did these because we basically hit a logjam and had to go with a different studio for it. So this is the first. Yeah, it's just the humans. I don't know who it is though. I can't think of it. I think they're in the UK.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, there must have been some fear around that as well.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think they've done a good job.
Fourth is next year.
Right? Yeah. They look great. Now, this is Matt's favorite. Yeah. I mean, look at that cloak. I mean,
this is Mr. Miyagi of the dog world to me.
Yeah. For sure. He's about to show him the crane maneuver.
Yeah.
The thing that was really important to me is especially on the heroes to get the posings right, and I really wanted very calm, timid, intimidating poses, and they were so opposed to doing that. Like they wanted so many more things. I'm like, trust me, like the way that looks is
it's badass.
It says more,
it's badass
than one hand on the ground and weapon up.
So we did have a question.
You did not give us more one hand on the ground.
Yeah. But we did have a question. In this unit, what kind of weapons can this thing be equipped with? Does it have a shooting option? Is it?
Well, yeah, that's the shock runs.
That is
so.
Okay.
they can swap out for either the melee weapons or basically bladed discs that they throw.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
we essentially just looked up a bunch of different types of historically Asian weapons.
And these just say Knoll to me, but obviously it's got a very feral Knoll look.
Yep.
Right.
Did you just have a moment when you did that over?
I did have a little bit of a moment. I just took a moment.
Just deep breathe. Can't have him getting too aroused on camera.
Yeah, so, I was like, holy cow. Because to be fair, I didn't look at these today. I made, if you remember, I made you pull the pictures because I wanted to like look at them for the very first time up close on the stream, and man, they're really, really good. They're really, really good.
So these are compared to, are these bigger than the armored guys, Kyle?
Yes.
Yep. So these are more large infantry style. Yep. Okay. And obviously less armor than the heavy infantry.
Yeah.
So
this is the same exact kit with the hunters, the
guys with the cloaks and the bows that we'll see in a minute.
And are you
and these are hard plastic as well, right? Hard plastic?
Yes.
Yeah. And are you quite happy with how the rules revolved around the theme you wanted?
I also wrote the list. So
okay. Right. So you should be.
So what we're hearing is if anybody has a complaint, it's all Kyle's fault.
Correct.
And if everybody loves it, it's all Kyle's fault.
We'll include his direct email at the end of the show. No. That's right. No.
Now, is this the Prowler? What is this character?
Yeah, this is the Prowler, I think.
Champion.
Isn't it? Oh, it's the what? Sorry?
For the champions box that'll be coming. So this is the
but I love the little like baby dragon that's with him. I mean,
he is a badass. Like he is a serious Rambo kind of character.
I love the bow.
Because this is the one that they're giving away with the one-click set. So
that's what makes it special because you're getting it early.
Yeah, so in the champion, it has basically, it's a named character, but in the it can be used as whatever or as the Prowler, its name in champions as well.
It's his name is, I don't know how to say it, Zeroy, I think, and then the Prowlmaster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool one. I think Alexi mentioned earlier that they thought that was the best model. It's a cool model.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And then I've seen some of the pictures because I have to admit when I see that I do think of Robin Hood, the Disney cartoon made in 1973. It has that look. But
you know what? There's no Richard the Lionheart.
That's not a negative for me. That's a positive for me. I think these look great, like so good.
There were so many decisions that had to go into it because, a lot of the guys at Mantic wanted to have them snarling and teeth out. And I was like massively against that on the whole, because I said the second that you do that, they lose their intelligence. They just seem like feral beasts. And these guys, they're very controlled. So the Berserkers got the snarling beast. That was my compromise, where everything else you'll notice are generally more like they've got battle faces on, but they're not this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rob has been really nostalgic recently, talking about Robin Hood. The other day he was on about bed knobs and broomsticks. Man.
I'm old, man. What can I say, man?
Yeah. He's at the age of reminiscing.
I only hope you live as long. Now, this guy, now that you told me that's a witch cage, is that what you said?
Yep.
Mm.
That's cool.
That is cool. I was the same as you, Rob. I was like, wow, it's got a coffin on its back. That's grim. It's probably grimmer than it's a cage because there's not much space in that cage. You got to be careful
around anything magic you got when he's near you.
That's interesting. I like that.
We were talking about that, like if they shut magic down, so there's going to be something that he has extra attacks against magic users. I don't know. It's going to be something cool.
Yeah.
What I like about that is, I assume in the lists is, I like that across some armies that you end up with these natural counters, because I think in a simplistic game it allows you to play with the power level of, say, magic users and make them a little bit better, but you wouldn't want to spam it in case you came up against something else.
Right.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Very nice.
Is that the last? That might be
the last.
Yeah, let me take it down and just make sure. I think that is it, actually. Well, I mean, I don't know how you topped that, but you did. Well, I don't know if you topped it. You at least, we should probably talk about the Trident Realms.
Yes.
I mean, those things are just freaking unbelievable right now. And I think I've mentioned it. You know, we had the video, and it went by pretty quick. But I'm like, I know those are Death Horrors, and I know that's Placoderms because I look like a bunch of actors. So let's maybe take a look at that.
Which was the direction.
Yeah.
Just make a bunch of actors.
That's like the best model. That's the best model they have in the range, right? Like that for me, the Trident Realms, that is the model. Now, I see the plastics here. Is this guy also plastic, or is he a resin?
I think
version
that's
of the
Unicool.
I think originally he was resin, I think, because he's the pre-existing one, right? I'm pretty sure I've got one in a Mega Army. Is he? I'm not entirely sure he's new unless they've resculpted it.
Well, if they did it in Unicool, that wouldn't surprise me. But if it's not, it's resin. There's
but these hard plastics in the back are pretty good.
Yeah, the Death Horrors are great. The Placoderms are
so
great.
We got some questions. We should probably get to these pictures, but those are double-handed weapons for the Placoderms?
Yeah.
Well, come on, not want to give too much away.
If you look far enough back there in the back, they don't have double-handed weapons. So there's two options.
Yes, that's probably the best picture of the new the alternative sculpt, Rob. I had trouble, I think, finding most of the pictures had the first sculpt. But these
guys are just incredible. They have that what is it, not anglerfish? Is that the anglerfish?
Yeah.
With the thing on their head. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah, and the paint job on those is incredible.
Well, it's bone, right? The sword looks like it's a piece of bone.
Bit of blood on there.
Is so super awesome.
Just great subtle nautical themes all throughout.
Yeah, I love the wheel hanging around the guy's neck. I'm like, that's just so cool, so cool.
Right, and these are the two units that everyone's been asking for forever. I remember when we were first doing the Trident Realm, the first refresh. Matt was like, let's do River Guard. And I was like, what? No, Placoderms and Death Horrors. And then everything went out and they saw the reaction to it. And he was like, okay, Placoderms and Death Horrors are next.
I think one of the problems, I kind of understood it, because one of the problems with Placoderms is they have changed so much in their role between them first coming out and where they are now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where they're at in the Invasion book. Which is one thing I mentioned to Rob off air. So hopefully for new players, I think the one thing that's not quite obvious on the web store at the moment, if you buy the main book, that you should also buy the Invasion book. So, you know, that might be worth tidying up, but I know you're not in control of that, Kyle. So, yeah. But I'm sure this guy existed, but now probably in the Unicool, or maybe it already was.
It's definitely resin or Unicool, not plastic or something like that.
So,
he did exist before.
I see we got spears. I see we have double-handed weapons. Are they going to have the same profile? So are they going to have the same stat line? And the only difference is one's crushing one,
very
one's
similar.
6, or one's phalanx and one's. So they would have the same. What, Matt? Why are you laughing at me?
I'm just laughing. Everyone wants to milk Kyle for the rules.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The other ones are Placoderm razor swords. So let's say more offensive, less defensive.
Got it.
Do you know what those razor swords remind me of? Has anyone watched Chief of War yet on Apple? Jason Momoa? And it's like, actually, I don't know. I'm quite a historical fiction of Hawaiian Islands, with like bone saws and things like that.
It is a shark.
This paint job, though, how good is this paint job? I mean, it's really
even
good.
on the rank and file in that last picture, Rob, if like the blues on them are just beautiful.
Yeah. I love the striping that they've put in, really on each scale, or, they've got, it's just a great job.
I really do think Glenn did a lot of it.
Yeah. And they did it.
This strikes me as Glenn, these ones. This strikes me as Glenn. Yeah.
The poses, though, that these guys are in, like the big guy with the sword like this, or pushing. I mean, there's a lot of kinetic motion built into this thing, right?
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah. I'm okay with a sword on the ground. It's not a fist, so that's good.
It's a tactical sword, right? Not a tactical rock. Yeah, these are great. I don't know, dude. I going into this, I'm like, I definitely want to do the dog army. But then seeing these, knowing that there's already dam busters and plastic river guard, I'm like, it's 4 plastic kits. Maybe I need to do the Trident Realms.
I'm going full taco, Rob. Why not both? It's I've already got a mega army of Trident Realms sitting in the cupboard, so I'm going to be topping up both.
Well, I'm looking at doing both for sure.
I would love to. I'm not like Jeremy, who I'm going to commit to something I know I'm not going to get to do.
Come on, right? You paint quickly when you want to. You're going to get both.
Yeah. That's true. I will probably just pre-order everything.
Here's the thing, we are 6 months away from doing all of this again, and then 6 months away from doing it again.
I'm ready for that. I'm ready for a little bit. So
I need a better saving plan this year.
Yeah, the rules and stuff are fine, but I'm really looking forward to the army refreshes. And as Ronnie said, that lead army is going to get the Twilight Kin treatment. And okay, and obviously the Xirkaali is that in this book, but in the next book, I'm just chomping at the bit. Is it going to be Basilan? We'll find out. But so good.
It's so exciting. So exciting.
It's exciting. And the good news too is you've really come out of the gate hot. So this is what we're expecting now, Kyle.
Yep.
So because Kyle, Ronnie also mentioned that, hey, we're going to have different people leading different army projects. So I feel bad for whoever has to follow you, if I'm being honest, because it's going to be hard to beat this, right? I mean, you came out hot.
I'm sure Kyle will have time for the little people, to help him out a little bit,
Yeah. They did invite me already to the next design meeting, so that I might be stuck in for a little bit.
We have certainly never ever had a runway like this of ideas and knowing that we're going to be getting so much new stuff in Kings ever. Version 2 kickover was basically books. And since then it's been a bit of a drip. Never have we had 6 monthly releases of new stuff. It's just it's an exciting time to be in Kings, that's for sure.
So Alex does have a question about balancing armies. I know Matt and Alessio, when they were on, I guess that's going through Matt with the help of the RC, right?
Yep.
Alessio's sort of focusing on the core rules. So I think that's true, right, Kyle?
Yeah. So they will effectively form a new RC, but they wanted to do playtesters that were super active, super responsive, submitted a lot of games, had great ideas, and I was involved with the rules committee through 3rd edition, and I said I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. So Matt's taken over that Mantic communication with the RC, but there will absolutely be outside players that still look at and balance all the aspects of the game. So yes, that will absolutely still exist. I don't know who it will be.
Yeah, I mean, we get this question, but in the past, it's been some Australians, maybe some Americans, some English, but there's plenty of other countries like Spain and Germany and Argentina. So I mean, maybe there's an opportunity for some international flavor.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised that this group of RC is still together. We've been doing this for a long time. Since 2010, right?
Right.
Usually, every couple of years, you kind of have a hard reset, and people get burned out, and new people come in. So.
And that's what's happening. I mean, Alessio really did the design for the core rules. The playtesters, Matt, they're the ones that worked on the army lists the most of all. The thing that's really brilliant about it is a real formula was put in place. So every stat for every unit all across the board is following this formula. It's this huge sheet that has calculations, and John Quayle actually put it together.
The previous formula didn't quite work, did it? You had to divert from it quite a bit.
It was kind of a gut feeling, and people knew what points were involved with certain things, but this calculates it in certain circumstances of likelihood of getting the first charge, or use of special rules in combination with the rules that it already has. So it's a lot more sophisticated than it was before. And what's great about that is that people are worried about codex creep, or as new models come out or new units come out, that they'll be broken or busted. And when it's following the formula, and that's the rule, that's how it has to be. If something is off, the formula changes, which means it changes for everybody, which is great about having the companion, because you can literally adjust points for everybody across the board. So There's a lot fewer unique special rules, which are harder to point to, things that are on a unit that don't exist anywhere else. So especially to start, it's a lot more streamlined and trimmed down, and it really can't happen with the formula and the way that it works.
And I did have a question in another chat from someone. The intent, I mean, Ronnie kind of said this, but again, he's said it before.
Ronnie always kind of says a lot of things.
The intent this time is reasonably quickly have the companion updated for paid users, right?
It is supposed to be 100% launch day. Yeah.
Yeah. And you will ship in 2 waves. So like the rules and stuff that are due, that say ship in November, will ship before the other models, which I think has been beyond your control, hasn't it? It's just been that backlog you spoke about with the Polish.
Yeah, there's guys. A lot of things going in. I mean, you've got tariffs both to Europe from the UK to the US. Those are causing delays at borders for anyone that orders directly. It can get lost in the pile of all the stuff that's going on. There's things like that. There's things like the production timelines. ODST for Halo's dropping this month, and it landed in the port in the US from the factory on the 26th of September. And, we're trying to get it out by the end of October. So it's here, yet it's not in a place that it can ship out. So those things just have delays, and they're hard to predict because you can tell everybody it's going to be October 25th. This is when we're going live with everything. And customs doesn't care about that.
No. So do you know if people were to organize their stuff by, like, do an order for stuff that says November, and then not long after do stuff for a ship in December, they should ship differently? That would just be picked up well by Mantic, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Everything
to the best
of
your
listings,
ability. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything on the listings says dates, so be very careful. Like there's an all-in Xirkaali bundle that says December because it includes both the November releases and the December releases. So you're not going to get the stuff that comes out in November early, and they're not going to split that one bundle into 2 different shipments. So just be careful and pay attention to how.
Yeah, I've had that multiple times in the past, just not paying attention to the dates of release, and it comes with the second one, understandably.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Really appreciate your time today, Kyle.
Yeah.
Rob,
I got one more thing that this isn't really for Kyle, but it's for we've seen some comments about pricing, and I was like, is that really right? Like, are they GW? So I did a quick comparison. Thought that'd be kind of fun. So I looked up this ambush box, which is $75. I think anybody would acknowledge that currently the ambush boxes, I think they were $55 before. Like they were pretty good value, right? $75 though. People are like, there's a few people like, oh, I don't know. This is 12 ogre size models, right? In hard plastic. So I don't know what that comes down to, but I was like, well, who else could I compare it to? Like, what could I compare it to? So obviously they're ogre size. So I figured I would look at ogres. So I pull up GW, 4 ogres, I think, right? I think it looks like there's 4 here. $48. So if my math is right, if you go back to this, there's 12 here. To get 12 models from here, you'd have to buy this 3 times. So that'd be $150. So you're 50% less than GW.
We did look at that because the reason for this price increase is the tariffs. Mantic is going to pay them for our partners or for our individual customers. So at the time of dispatch, Mantic pays it. So that means that retail partners don't have to pay a tariff. That stuff causes messes and headaches for them tremendously. And instead of trying to say, okay, we're going to sell it at your normal price, but then, you mark it up and recoup your cost from the tariffs, or order this much and we'll give you a credit the next month. That's messy as can be. We said,
it's just cleaner. It's just cleaner for everybody involved.
Just pay it. We'll roll it in. And then we had to readjust things to make sure that we still made money, basically.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're just things beyond your control, nothing you can do about that. And like Rob said, and the boxes are still incredible value. Like where you're getting some of that mixed stuff, like obviously the resin things remain expensive, like the large cav, but that's because producing in resin, particularly if it's not printed, is expensive. I mean, even if it is printed, there's still a fair bit of labor that goes into it that's the individual's not doing. So, I mean, I just don't think it's comparable, to be honest.
Matt, Ronnie, and me on a call just like this, doing exactly what you just did and going to different competitors' websites and comparing the pricing and looking at the value.
It's not lost on me that things are getting more expensive. I have a lot of hobbies. And it's not just tariffs. It's just in general, inflation is what it is. And, action figures are more expensive, everything. So, I at the very least, I appreciate that. I guess I can feel like it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and the reality is there are a lot worse out there. Right. And I think, and this is a great comment here, right? Like $6 is still good for a model like that, right? Versus 12. So I agreed. And at the end of the day, I always tell people, like, if you legitimately can't afford it, because you've got other things to like, don't buy a luxury good like this that you don't actually need.
No, and I mean, one of the good things for Aussies, if for the web store exclusives, is you just go check out the pounds and the American dollar and pick which one's better. To be honest, you get the better exchange rate and buy it at that.
Yeah.
And that's why things like entire armies are moving to the vault too, because you want to give people a really if they're comfortable printing it or have a good source to print it from. You can save a lot of money and really do it on the cheap through 3D printing. Like it's a genuine part of the strategy.
Yeah, I certainly don't see anything in here that says to me that Mantic's forgotten about its customer base, which just happen to be some of the tightest gamers in the tabletop world.
Yeah. I think it's also worth noting that the first expansion book is $60, but it is hardcover. Are we going to get a softcover version down the road, or is this just going to be hardcover?
It is kind of a one and done thing. So if you want it, get it.
Storm of Chaos, I get it. Or the end times are upon us. No. To be fair, I love books.
You can keep them.
And it's cool.
Yeah,
for the collectors out there.
I like hardcover. Yeah, I like
if you haven't noticed, if you pull up copies of the books, if you have any images, there's a thing that we're doing.
Rob did notice this off air on the spines.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think the spines look like they will form a bigger picture.
Yeah, I was just looking at that actually. Let me see if I can bring this up here. So
you can see along there.
You can just see right down here. So, and we're getting 6 books. Mm-hmm. So 2.5 years. So one comes at launch, and then you got 2.5 years of 6-month intervals. So if I'm doing the math, that's 6 books at 4 armies a book. That's 24 armies. So Matt, you're going to get your wish. There's not going to be Raccoon Slaves anymore.
No. Great. No more poo marks.
And also, we need to give a big shout out as well, because you guys have got a new novel coming out. You somehow managed to get another Black Library author to join your ranks with Joshua Reynolds, who I don't know if this bodes well, but he is the guy that wrote the fiction to end Warhammer.
Right.
Like, he is the end time author. So I hope that doesn't mean
it looks like a weighty tome. A nice long story.
That's what we're doing, guys. We're blowing up the world. We're going to go to a whole different game, and 5th edition is not even the same.
I'm so pumped for rounds. So pumped.
I am too. No,
rounds and D8s all at once. Whoa.
So just guys, we do have a post on the Facebook page. We're going to get Ronnie and Kyle on again in the near future, where we maybe dive a little bit more into some of your questions. So if you've got questions, please put them on that post on our Facebook page. I know we didn't get to all the questions here tonight, but we appreciate, I love having as many people here as possible. Those of you that are listening to this podcast after the fact in audio form, great. We're glad to have that. You here too. Don't forget, you can always go back to the YouTube channel and watch with all the cool video and stuff, and see my expression as these models come up. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Matt, we still are like 500. I think we've gained like 12 subscribers in like a month.
Yeah. Mr. Hilder is certainly a long way ahead. We're gonna have. He also does better videos.
Well, that's true too. Well, he's handsome too, right? And he's British. Yeah. He's British that has all their teeth.
Well,
so that's
and
a
if
good
people
combination.
go searching fanatics, they saw him give away something about some models that he found very attractive at Mantic HQ that we have not seen yet.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, I know what he did.
Yeah, about the third army in the book.
Correct. Yeah.
Which Ronnie already said that something was coming, but we have no idea what. So
they look good.
Yeah, I and we have had lots of questions about that too, about the lists. Kyle, I think the plan is the list will sort of be bled out into different different streams and different podcasts and different influencer forums. And so we're going to holistically as a community take these lists and kind of disseminate it out for discussion and community review, community commentary. So it'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is there's a lot more to come.
Our community doesn't like giving feedback. What? I don't see the point of that at all.
Well, ours does. They're like, we have nice people on our Facebook page.
I'm just looking at these images and counting legs.
What?
Hey, at least it's not AI.
Halfling images, or?
Well, I mean, if you can zoom in on the reflection of my eyes well enough, you can see it. So
that's fantastic.
I'm already zoomed in on your eyes, mate. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't, I've been playing a lot of Walking Dead dice game. Man, I didn't even know you guys had a Dungeon Saga Origins version. I like this better than the Walking Dead because it's got the fantasy theme.
Sure,
I'm not
didn't know that either.
Yeah, they also have Invincible. So I have a team out at work of 5 people, and I've got 4 of them committed to board games every single day at lunch.
I mean, that's an easy one to do in a lunch break.
And that's an easy one. Yeah. So if you haven't picked it up, check it out.
Oh, that might be easier because every time my 6-year-old wants to play Dungeon Saga, I have to pull the whole box out, the Origins, and like get out all the skeletons because she likes having every single undead thing on a few cardboard squares.
It's great.
So,
it's great. I think I saw it. It's even, you can get it for like $10 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's available. It's reasonably priced.
Yes.
And the cool thing is just pick your theme. The games are all exactly the same. So it's just different cards and a different die. So,
nice.
Kyle, we appreciate you coming on.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah. We did this a little later. hopefully you guys in the stream that joined us, this was a little bit better for some of you. I know maybe I guess we lost the UK folks because it's 5 a.m. there or something, or 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
4.
Yeah, late. But we just have our priorities, as Matt would say. Americans and Australians. That's what we want.
That's right. All the A's. All the
A's. Yeah.
Canadians too, then.
That's right. Matt, you want to take us out?
I will. Yeah. Thanks again, Kyle, and to all of you. I hope you heard our. Oh no! Actually, they haven't heard the intro you trialed on yet, Rob. That'll be coming. this week.
Yeah.
So I won't let the cat out of the bag there. But until next time, keep countercharging.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Countercharge. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at counterchargepodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at countercharge15, or by commenting on the Countercharge Kings of War podcast Facebook group. If you enjoy the show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes. Until next time, keep countercharging. Music is a composition of Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under Creative Commons.